My name's Ellie and I am the Heritage Advisor and Region Archivist for Girl Guiding North West England, and today is the final video in our series for Women's History Month. So I'd like to highlight some of the internationalism that Girl Guiding is all about. We have been said to be an international sisterhood. We're a member of WAGs. We are part of a global collective of women and girls who are coming together, and we are a community that is not defined by any borders, and that has been true since our inception. Oh, why not take a look at these 2 pages that we've found in the archive? The first is to the World Scout Jamboree, which shows how women, girls, men came from all around the world to come together. We can see in these 2 images there is a group from New York, there are plenty of girls there. This was held in Sutton Coldfield. And if you look at the second image, in a time where a large part of the Western world was under apartheid or segregation, we see people from all backgrounds, all countries coming together and happily standing together to pose for a picture, because this was a space where people were welcome no matter who they were, as long as they belonged to this movement, which I think is incredible. On the other side of that, whilst it has always been international and an inclusive space, we can't forget that Girl Guiding and Scouting was set up during a time of empire and colonialism, and we can see that in some of our records in the archive, and it's not something that we're proud of, and it's definitely not something that we need to forget. We need to remember this and think about how it can affect us now. There's a brilliant trip that some Girl Guides took to Nigeria, and they went at a time for a particularly important celebration as part of Eid, so really important to the Muslim community in Nigeria. So we can see some really exciting things. We can see a procession, which is incredibly important. This is the most important person in that country, and these guides on their visit got to experience that, which is amazing. But through these records, we also see some of the attitudes of the time, which is really important for social history and remembering where guides were coming from. Even though we were an international organisation, we still see these judgments, like this caption which calls them a pagan horseman, which is quite disrespectful. But now we know that that isn't how we should speak about other people and other religions, especially when we've been invited to join in with their cultural celebration in a very important day. So the archive can be used in this way to see the brilliant parts of Girl Guiding history and the parts that we need to remember and we need to be addressing, like every other type of archive is across the country. So it is really helpful to have these documents and to see the attitudes of the time, not just for Girl Guiding, but for anyone who's interested in that sort of social history. And as we protect this archive, as we look after it, we also need to use it to acknowledge every part of guiding history, whether that's the good or the bad, and we see this as something we can learn from. I know now that's not how I see Girl Guiding at all. We are inclusive, we are a community that spans international borders, and we are working to be better, and I think that that's really important to remember too.